Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back to day 2 now of the B stream for DreamHack Masters Malmö. I am Vince, joined by Dust. We have 3 best of 3s coming up today. Plenty of sick Counter-Strike. It's going to be another long one with the two of us. And the first game, our first stop, is Liquid against North. And we're starting on Inferno. How are you feeling, Dust? Did you get enough rest last night?
No, I did not. But that doesn't matter, Vince, because whatever creator of your choice, depending on your spiritual following, did create coffee beans, and they do a pretty sick job.
There you go. Are they going to help you throughout today, though?
What's that?
Is coffee going to be your best friend today?
It does seem that way, Vince. And you, of course. You're my best friend, buddy.
Oh.
I know,
starting off heartwarming.
Yeah, man.
As the day goes on, it'll get more.
Oh yeah, it'll get more brutal. Like, you know, we'll have some memes, I'm sure, some good spams. I'm positive of. But yeah, this is obviously a doozy, right? Because whoever loses this is going to be eliminated from the tournament. That is kind of the situation we're in right now. We're past all the, formalities and all the, kind of, it's no big deal. We still have, another lifeline. Nah, it's over if you're out of this. So that is kind of a tough spot Liquid put themselves in by suffering a huge upset loss to Optic yesterday on Overpass. North, a little bit more understandable. They lost to the new look Navi in a pretty one-sided game at Overpass. So that's how they both find themselves here. So whoever loses this actually kind of goes out in last place alongside Envy and Tyloo, who got eliminated yesterday. Also, brutally, on the mainstream, you have Evil Genius is taking on Mouse Sports in elimination best of 3. Loser of that goes out in last place as well. So that's a real yikes. But yeah, so between these two teams, obviously Liquid comes in as the heavy favorite, still kind of ranked number 1 in the world. And their head-to-head against North this year has been pretty good. They beat them 2-0 at DreamHack Masters Dallas earlier this year. Beat them 2-0 at the Major as well in one of the group stage best of 3s. The only mark that North had in their favor is they didn't win a best of 1 against Liquid, I believe at the EPL finals, in a close game on Dust 2. But that's not going to be up today. Right now we're on Inferno. Not sure whose pick this is. Wouldn't be surprised if it was Liquid's, considering how successful they have been on Inferno lately. I think they're like 15-1 or something like that in their last 16 games. So they have been very dominant on this map.
They certainly have, but this round is certainly back and forth right off the bat. Team Liquid going to be getting a 2-player advantage. Bomb was stuck in tunnels. Incredibly rough position for AZ to find himself in. And Alvalda 1-3. They get caught from behind. The lead nearly whiffed it, though. I think he had a couple of moments where his heartbeat may have skipped a few of them. But North are going to concede the first round. They don't get a bomb planted either, so unlikely that we're going to see too much coming into this one.
So apparently North picked Inferno, which is a bit surprising considering how strong Liquid are on this map. But it is true that it has been one of North's better maps as well, with kind of this new lineup with Yugi on board. And a big note to make, actually, which I found out yesterday, kind of a shocker to me, is that Gade is actually now the new in-game leader of North. Valda has given up the position, and it's now being taken over. Which, in one sense, I kind of like, because it frees up Valve, obviously, to focus on just being a player and fragging, which is kind of what you want, because he is basically the bread and butter of this team, definitely their star player. And to have him freed up from that's obviously huge. But you kind of wonder for Gade, because he's not, ever really done it before, I don't think. He obviously also plays an important role in this team, being kind of one of the entry fraggers. Obviously, you kind of like to have your in-game leader, though, in kind of those forward positions, so he kind of knows what's going on. He's a part of the main group that's attacking things, not on the edges of the map or anything like that. So it could work, but it's also a big experiment, I feel like.
I completely agree. I mean, with both parts of that. First off, Valde is such a phenomenal player that freeing him up, and it is, it's the tried and tested. It's kind of a meme at this point, but it does come from a real place. That he doesn't have to focus on the nitty-gritty and micromanagement and tactics and these kinds of things. He could just focus on his own gameplay. So you're expecting to see Valda really step up now to a new level. But I totally agree as well on Gade that there is certainly an unknown element to his IGLing. And whether it's going to work, I mean, look, Alex is probably the biggest surprise for me in Counter-Strike recently with how he picked up the mantle for Vitality. So maybe Gade can, rinse and repeat from that, just be the Danish version of Alex, as it were. So we'll have to wait and see.
And Valor can still be that secondary voice, right? That assistant in the calling, I'm sure, as he's had done in the past whenever he had MSL as his in-game leader. So I'm sure there's still something going on. They have a good coaching staff behind them as well. So we'll see what happens. Another big thing to keep an eye on was KRB. The dude was absolutely bonkers at the major. It looked like he was back at that level that, you know, excited us in the past when we thought of KRB as like a true star player, like when he was, you know, getting these sick numbers with the Strauss and they were having all their success, and even kind of back in his days playing alongside MSL and Dignitas and such. Like, we seemed like we were getting a little bit of that back, and I feel like that's what North needs to be internationally viable. They need KRB to be that 6-star player. They need Valor to get back to form. Maybe finally see the resurgence of Yugi. Something like that has to happen for North to get enough firepower to be a truly elite team. So that's definitely something we're going to track throughout today to see if we see any of that, because they need it in spades against such a, you know, highly skilled team in Team Liquid. And Liquid need to wake up, because yesterday they looked completely absent.
Yeah, they certainly did. I think they definitely fell into the whole best of one nightmare as well. With best of 3, you do expect them to come out ahead, but as you say, I mean, North on paper have so much talent. Stewie 2K, MP9, not able to transition across for a second, but at least does stall the push, gets vital information, and Nafly will be calling out for a rotation. Liege is starting to make a move over there. Still time, though, for the Danes to elect to go back to A, which is why they're not over-rotating. And they do have KRB, who's still perched up in the app, so he may be looking for some kind of flank play if they decide to pull the trigger and go for B, which is looking like it may not end up coming to fruition. This is more of a fake. They're sending Gade out by himself with the SG while the rest of the team hit A.
Absolutely. They had the bomb coming up brackets right now. You do still have KRB on the balcony. He has been caught out, though. Nitro picking up on that. He's also still got a teammate on the balcony, so this crossfire up lane is going to be huge. That flank from Gade through Banana has been detected and dealt with. And there you have it. Liquid sweep out the round. Twist getting the pair of FAMAS frags to finish things off. So just well contained from Liquid all across the board. They never really felt too pressured. They never really had to rotate. They seemed to have a great read of everything that was happening. And now North are going to be back onto a save.
Well, we said Liquid need to wake up. I definitely think Elijah has had his morning coffee. 7-0. Not really missing too many shots here. And North already into a very possible 4-0 deficit. Half by in effect. Obviously, their round loss is starting to accrue and build up. And they have still some firepower and some grenades to play with here. 5 smokes in play in total. They do have some options available, Dust.
Yeah, that could allow them to, like, smoke CT spawn coffins once, maybe even fake it, do it again. Obviously, the smokes you could run, they execute like a pit smoke wall, you know, smoke on Moto. So it definitely allows them to run essentially one good set piece. But other than that, obviously, they don't have that much to actually get control and take those initial fights. They kind of have to commit to something right away off the back of this limited utility. And it seems like mid is going to be the option for them. So expect to see some smokes all across maybe Arch and Library or Moto, maybe a smoke wall on Pit. Something along those lines, and just try to see if they can get these CTs up close in Liquid's face. There are 4 players here, though, for Liquid. They've already rotated Stewie 2K over from the B-bomb site. They got a nice little crossfire with him and Nitro over on that Arch side. So Liquid are well set up for this.
They are, and they still have some flashes and incendiary and smoke to play with when North do pull the trigger, which looks like it's going to happen now. Nafly already rotating around the back of Banana. They're going to have to get a move on here, and that's right into Twist, AK-47. Liege keeps adding those stats. Finally going to fall. And to be fair to North, they do take a couple of casualties away from Liquid, but it is going to be another round on the board for the NA squad.
Right. That is very true. One of the big things I want to watch out for North as we see these gun rounds kind of start coming into fruition for them is, does Valor's role change now, too, in the server? Obviously, you get the in-game leadership. When he became the in-game leader, he became more of an entry fragger because he wanted to get away from kind of playing the solo roles because he wanted to be in the main group and kind of have an understanding of what was going on at all times. But with him giving that up, I wonder if he kind of goes back to playing kind of that more, you know, not necessarily a lurk style, but kind of, you know, that guy playing the solo roles, kind of that guy making the big decisions by himself and kind of just, you know, what his comfort zone has been throughout the majority of his career with this team. So that's something I definitely want to keep track of. And around like this, though, it's just going to be AZ and Gade getting control of B. No surprises there. This is AZ's default position. Gade likes to be up front in his own right, depending on what site they're headed. Seems like B is going to be the intended target, at least for now. They still have some presence towards middle of KRB. He seems to be more just kind of holding for pushes.
Playing more of the lurk and the safeguard position with Kirby. There's going to be Stewie 2K, who's been tagged up significantly, down to 37. Joined by Nafly, holding off against B. Smoke perforation, perfect, and gets a second headshot onto Valdo with the last bullet of the magazine. Nafly is going to see the head protruding over the boxes. And it's only Nitro that has fallen to the hands of Kirby. It's looking pretty ominous, but Gade's got round the back at the CTs, and there's 2 kills with his SG. Elise, meanwhile, is going to hold down the fort with his SG too. It's all about the SGs right now, but it will be Liquid again being victorious.
Yeah, that was a good little maneuver by Gade to get in behind on Ruins. He was very patient with how he approached it. So he got 2 kills out of that little activity there. But unfortunately for him, Elige was on top of it. He's up to 10 frags in the 5 rounds played. Of course, Elige kind of coming into this tournament in consideration for being, a top 3 player of the year. So to see him in good form already is certainly a good sign for Team Liquid, because they need everything right now to avoid elimination. Another kind of half-buy approach here from North. Yugi already off the board. Rest are pretty much positioned for Banana. Kirby joining them even now as well.
First bullet did connect to the head. Gade does finish off a weakened Stewie 2K. But North don't have much to muster behind this. Naflight puts down the smoke. Blockade for the terrorist. They still have time though, Dust. I mean, they don't have to rush through here. Mac 10 in the hands of Valda, but no grenades other than a 1 smoke is a bit dodgy for North in this position.
Yeah, now they just go ahead and smoke off CT spawn with that 1 last smoke. They've already dropped the bomb as well. The leading player fell pretty quickly, and obviously Liquid are going to be on top of it. Elige has already made his rotation as well to come assist now after Stewie fell. So this should be pretty much wrapped up for Team Liquid.
You'd certainly think so. With such low time available, maybe just want to hold on to the Kevlar that they currently possess.
It's definitely a possibility. With the bomb being so far forward, it's kind of hard to go back and get it. Also, now you have no utility to peek with, so you kind of just have to hope that maybe Kirby lines up a sick dig shot as he comes around the corner.
Lined up, Elige puts the bullet between both their eyes. Liquid 6-0, North back into a bye, but this makes sense. It hasn't been going their way. Call the timeout, try and figure out what they need to change.
Yeah, this is the price you pay when you pick Inferno against Team Liquid. You let them start on the CT side, where they have such a skilled lineup. They have a powerful double AWP set up now as well. It's Stewie 2K going to be able to take that up at the B-bomb sites. And again, this is probably Liquid's top map, or certainly within their top 3. They lost, I think, like the first 3 out of 4 LAN games they played on Inferno. So it took them a little while to settle in. But their overall record on the map is 15-4. So when you think about that, that's basically what, like 15-1 since that first 3 out of 4 games that they lost. So that is really, really impressive. Like one of the bigger, hot streaks on Inferno that we've had in CSGO history, to be honest. Kind of just below what Astralis is able to do kind of during their heyday. So it's really tough to play Liquid on this map, especially it being your pick.
Same time though, I mean, North in a position where they kind of have to, it comes down to that same discussion that we have quite often, is do you play to your own strengths, your enemy's strengths? Oh, that grenade from Twist.
Peace.
Off the wall onto Elige's face. You hate to see it.
Not too much damage though, to be fair, so it's not going to impact things a whole heck of a lot. They have Stewie 2K kind of solo defending B with the AWP. Everyone else is looking to get some mid control, but Liquid's not going to give it to him for free like some teams will. They are looking to face them at brackets.
Yeah, they're definitely speeding up a little bit here. Again, Kirby is in the app, seems to be his position on their 8 hits. Gade, 2 players in the alcove. Could be looking for Molotov to try and draw them out. Gonna land onto Naflight. He's out in the open, but that screen Molotov, maybe baiting the flash, does save his life for 1-4 trade. The bomb's gone in first. It's in a horrible spot. There is plenty of time now. Smokes are being deployed on both teams to try and fend off this push. Now the CT's starting to flood onto the A side. So many angles being covered off. Kirby jumps out of the balcony. He's going to put down the pressure from Pit. And now here comes Twist. AZ counteracts with 2 of his own. Somehow, someway to 1v2 in favor of North this time. But it is Stewie 2K with the AWP. He'll be peering across towards the Pit side. He knows one of these 2 players is still on the side. He's just heard that reload as well. So if he can peek round to get the kill, especially with the USP, but Yugi is there to lend Stewie and push him off his mortal coil. North pick up their first round.
They did a really great job getting Kirby in the pit, which kind of gave him another angle of attack. It started out a little bit dicey, but AZ was able to really come through with a couple of key SIG kills, and that put them in that 2 versus 1. So well done, North, finally finding themselves on the scoreboard after the 6-0 start for Team Liquid. And it certainly didn't come a moment too soon. They felt like they needed to get something going. Oh, Yuki! My goodness.
Good night. That's a pretty solid way to kick things off in this round, especially with a low economy Liquid. Get the 2 for 1. Pretty much bulldoze over on the B side, leaving just Nitro remaining. Good smoke flashed over. It's going to be grenade firing his way in an SG. The last bullet through the smoke claims his life, and there's a second. Oh my goodness, AZ. Liquid didn't stand a chance. And Elige now looking to save the AK, but he's walking straight into the arms of Valda. And Liquid will be onto an eco. North can get right back in here on Inferno.
That was like a super sick 2 for 1. A lot of 2 for 1s you see are usually like people bunched up. Maybe like B tunnels on Dust 2 or something like that, where it's a little bit easier to get the lineup. But that was just a thing of beauty. Yugi, obviously a guy who's come under pretty heavy criticism because he hasn't really lived up to the same levels that he had on Heroic. Or even some of the tournaments he had on Optic were actually pretty good. Not as consistent as Heroic days, but he still showed us flashes. But his time on North has often been kind of left us, you know, really wanting more. That was a nice way to put a good foot forward. Liquid now on the save.
Gonna be a flash into a push, and they're gonna get both kills. The perfect timing flashbang. 2 assault rifles gonna trade hands. There is no Kevlar, but it's such a solid start to the round on the side of Liquid, who can now throw over some of those USPs. These are completely expendable players at this stage. Bomb still hasn't been planted. They've got a player in the graveyard. That's gonna be Twist. He's gonna get hot and heavy with a Molotov landing right next to him. And Valda will chip in with the SG. Yuki, in the meanwhile, flicking across the Stewie 2K, who peeks out one too many times of the site. Here comes Nitro, maybe the last bomb. That's the bomb that's gone down with him. North have some nades, but it's going to be so difficult to get back up there. And this is where the SG can be so dangerous, so deadly. Liquid are pulling it back. It's so very close. Navli versus Kirby on 16 HP. And Kirby just about digs them out. But what a round from Liquid.
Yeah, they got way more out of that than you should have expected. That was pretty much fully USPs, yet just a sick pot flash feeds them 2 kills, gets them a couple of weapons, and gets them into a situation where they can make the round interesting. North does just hold on thanks to Kierby. It could have gone either way in that 1v1. So they have to breathe a bit of a sigh of relief because they almost let that one slip, but they're back onto full buys on both sides. Banana control battle is ensuing. A great catch there from Gate. He got a good timing, catching Naf on his way to the corner. Stewie gonna try to see if he can't take something back. Indeed, he can. And will now retreat. So back into a 4-on-4 very quickly. Obviously, it's gonna favor North in the slightest bit.
Well, no longer favoring North after the shot delivered from Nitro through mid. Stewie 2K was low additionally, so he has to play passively on B. Elige waiting on the CT side with his M4. They still have a smoke in his hands. Stewie 2K, though, is bare. And the flashbang on Nitro, who's still over towards Library, is thinking about maybe making a rotation come into fruition, but for the time being, he's watching Arches. Smoke gonna get put down. They heard that tag Kirby. There's the bomb down first again. North keep making the same mistake. Elige is so close to getting the double spray and has pulled it off. So Liquid are going to put an end to the 3-round streak from North.
That's just Liquid having so many playmakers all across the map. I mean, Gade gets that entry. He catches a great timing window on that top B control. Exactly what you need if you're North. Get a quick 5-on-4. Get yourself some real estate on the map that you can work with. But it's Stewie. You always have to worry about when he's going to decide to make an off-timing push, something you don't expect. You kind of do expect at this point because he does it so often, but he can still make it work. He gets the 4-on-4, and then he forces North to work for the round. That's where Elige is able to step up and deliver. He is up to 17 kills already in these 10 rounds played. Absolutely fantastic stuff from the youngster, 151 ADR.
That is Truly unbelievable. And it's not as if he's had a bunch of, aces or anything. He's just been consistently getting 2 or 3 kills in these rounds and having a massive amount of impact.
Yeah, I think that's really the right way to sum it up. Now you see North on the best buy they could put together, but it certainly is lacking. KRB just on the Deagle, Gade on the MAC-10. Already taken some utility damage as well on a couple of their players, so soften targets for Liquid for later.
Oh, nade lands on Gates, who was trying to hop up into the balcony of bathroom, or bedroom, I should say. And he decides, nah, it's not really worth it. He's going to try and smoke arches instead. Still plenty of utility for North.
Yeah. Not sure if they're faint. The thing is, they have no presence top banana, so it leads me to believe that they're going to kind of have to commit to this. But because they haven't really taken any banana control, that allows Stewie with the second AWP just to kind of hold the line by himself. And Liquid has been able to shuffle their rotation so well throughout this half. North have never really done a great job at kind of holding people in place. So this means that Liquid are going to have 4 players on target as this hit comes in. But this is a nice little smoke ball. Valor might be able to sneak through.
Double flashes. He saw the shadow though twist, and he heard the jump. Still another player up there. Gade is trying to navigate his way through the smoke. He is the bomb carrier. If he goes down, this is going to get so awkward. It's dropped into pit. Liquid continue to put bullets to faces. And Nitro, alongside Elige, going to clear it up. Elige moves to 20 kills already.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually kind of a classic tactic, even dating back to MSL's days as the in-game leader of North. It's kind of a strat they've kind of saved over from that time period where they have like a nice little smoke wall on pit. Usually, you're going to hug more towards the left-hand side and actually swing around the opposite side of pit to actually sneak in. Instead, Valdo went towards the right-hand side and fell right into Twist Lap, who was hiding underneath the balcony. It's hard to make that strat work against a double pit setup. And again, it's because Luka keep cheating this rotation over to A. Now they're onto a save, and this is just, SMGs farming some extra cash for Team Liquid. Not that they need that much more of it, but obviously all the money helps.
Cheeky Kirby, he landed that. They're doing pretty sickening. Gets it in the flashbang, anticipating the peak. And Elige walks into his crosshair. And Orb's going to trade hands. This is now a very possible 1v4 clutch that Kirby could be picking up for his team. Still time. Doesn't have to force onto the site. He must realize that one of the CTs have got into this position.
No smoke for the cross, though, Vince. Oh, never mind. He did find one. Doesn't use it, actually, to go. He's trying to fake things out. Twist, though, is still holding over towards the A-bomb site, so I think he might be in for a surprise. It all depends on where Twist is positioned.
Yeah, once that smoke is heard, they're going to know exactly what's happening. Still time, though, if Kirby wants to pull back again and play the mind games. But it's looking like he is going to fully commit to this clutch. Fully commit to trying to take Liquid down a peg or two. The youngster that's had so many ridiculous plays in the past, he's had his hot and his cold moments, is to be pushing through the smoke, looking to try and take down Twist. It's all going to come down to, does he check the angle? It's looking like he shall, and there's the no-scope, straight to the face. Nitro now, it's a battle of the AWPers. There's no gun that Nitro can pick up, and Kirby's going to change it up again. CZ this time. This could be such a huge round for North. It could give them a lifeline to get back into this round, back into this game. An elimination match. And Nitro is lumbering his way up. He's going to be jumping up into the CZ, but calls the position. What a play from Nitro in the end. Commiserations for Kirby. He was so close to greatness there.
It's like we transitioned to a game of chess instead of CS at that point. Just the mind games going on. A great little attempt from Kierby to get that bomb planted, get into a 1v1, sneak into the graveyard, but Nitro, he's read the gambit. He's been able to sniff it out, and he puts a huge stop to a great little comeback effort here from North. It's now 9-3 in favor of Team Liquid. They've won the last 3 in a row after, of course, having the 6-0 start as well to the game. North have really struggled to find any type of consistency. No one's really putting in a big performance other than Kierby. Meanwhile, Liquid seem to have pretty much everyone playing at least decent, and then you have Elige just having a monster game with 20 kills. It'd be hard for North to put a stop to this. They've never really had an answer for this double AWP. They also have really struggled to just kind of get map-wide control. They've really been reliant on either just committing everything to B right away or doing these kind of mid setups. They don't really have like a good default down, it feels like. They've been really reliant on these kind of, you know, mid-round executes, and it just seems like Liquid always has a great read of things and is able to get the proper rotations.
Yeah, you certainly have to tip your hat towards Elige, but I mean, North haven't been bystanders in this game, They really have taken Liquid to their limits in some of these rounds. It could have been a very much more even scoreline. Had a couple of things clicked into place, double stack in the halls. Valda's going to move back and Twist walks into him. The AWP shot did ring out before. They were trying to bait him into a false sense of security, but Valda is not going to fall for it.
Yeah, it's a great read from Valda and getting him back onto the edge of the map. Kind of a classic role for him. Elige, though, fighting back. That's the problem with Liquid, is when you put them in a 4-on-5, they're very capable with literally anyone on the map to be able to step up, get a little bit aggressive, and find something to get it back even. It's happened multiple times throughout this half already. Again, they're going to trust in Stewie to hold B by himself with the AWP. AZ, the normal B player for North, is still in that location. But he's just kind of tucked into the corner, just maybe waiting to see if someone's going to try to flank through mid. In the meantime, North focused up on Indeed once again, looking to crack open this A-bomb site.
Well-timed Incendiary, though, on towards mid, going to stop any initial pushes. They still have quite a bit of real estate to get through. But with AZ playing the linchpin position up on Banana, having cleared that out, it's going to come down to Stewie 2K. The AWP not tailor-made to fend off multiple assailants at once. Unless he can get a lineup, he's going to peek in, and Yugi's already called it. Liquid putting too many eggs in the A basket, and are now going to be forced to very likely save a player behind their economy and tatters. They are going to save, so North will pick up a 4th round.
It's kind of hard to blame Liquid. They've gotten away with it so many times that they felt comfortable being able to do it once more. The problem is, though, is no one was even near the archway or library. They had 2 inside site and 1 in pit, so that means the rotation is going to take even longer to assist Stewie 2K when he starts calling out that utility. And at that point, if you're Stewie, you almost have to kind of at least find 1 frag with AWP and then fall back and just make sure you keep control of ruins. That way, you know, you have a crack at like a 4v3 retake opportunity, which was especially going to be harder because they didn't really have that much utility. Just a couple of flashbangs. Yeah, they had kits, but it was always going to be hard to dig people out of like Dark Corner or New Box or anything like that when you try to go for the retake a little bit later. So Stewie kind of understood that, knew that he had to figure out something, you know, try to get a frag on his way out, but Yugi able to get the pick. And that finds North their 4th round. Liquid still able to save several weapons, so they'll still have a pretty decent buy going into this. Does involve a couple of SMGs, but still adequate firepower, I would say.
Oh, certainly. Especially for the team as capable as these players. No easy rounds here for North. Kirby tagged down, chipped away to 73, but he's going to be joined by the rest of his team. This is one of the few times that we've seen them take such forward positionings in apps with rifles. They're just going to waterfall out, but Elige is blockading them. As ever, comes in with another 2 big kills. He's going to be found by Valda, but the damage has already been done. Nitro can now dig his feet in deep with his AWP here across the apps. There's a smoke and a Molotov. Valda's going to have to get burnt alive if he wants to push through there, and the bomb has gone down with him. A chance is now from slim to none. AZ against the world. He at least has an AWP. Maybe to try and save this, but Stewie 2K's on the prowl. Oh, what a shot onto Stewie! Get wrecked! AZ may have to save the AWP after all. Oh, that's such a sick shot, man.
Yeah, it's a very small victory in the grand scheme of things, considering that Liquid dominated the round. But hey, it is flashy, to say the least. He'll be able to carry that over into the next round, most likely. That was a little bit of a weird call for North. I mean, it definitely is a change of pace. Definitely is, you know, a different look to go for a quick apartments play. Not only that, but the last time they went heavy apartments, it was like a smoke wall on pit, so you kind of knew it was coming. That was a bit more of kind of just a blind run in, so to speak, a dry hit. But it's really hard to dry hit apartments unless you've done something to kind of cause that second player who's playing towards lane to kind of have to focus on top middle or focus on assisting his teammate who's kind of playing over towards the arch side. You have to kind of do something, because if Liquid are able to have 2 players focused on an apartments push, basically, you know, maybe someone in site, someone in pit, or maybe one on the balcony, one lane, whatever the case may be, you're running through a blender at that point. And you really have to hope that either you connect a sick flash or you really hit a nice headshot, and neither one of those happened for North. So we go into our last round of the half. Liquid with a commanding lead. Will they extend it one more, or can North try to close the gap just a bit before we switch sides? They will have a full buy to try to attempt it.
They do, but they have lost the first player, and who else but Elish? The man on fire, Yugi. In the meanwhile, gonna come back. There is a Molotov underneath him. Valda got very unfortunate in the last round, dying in the smoke to a Molotov. Just CSGO things.
Yeah. Just CSGO things. That is a great way to sum it up. Yugi was able to reel that back in, but took a lot of damage in the process. North will control top middle. This will force a rotation out of NAF to help cover out the arch side. That way Elish can assist his teammate with any type of lane or apartments push, which seems to be on the way. So North, they have their chances here to maybe crack this thing open. They have a one-man advantage over towards this side. How do they want to split it up, though, is going to be the big question. AZ just putting that smoke down to try to sneak around maybe towards closet, or at least stop a CT from pushing that side while they focus on lane.
Yeah, and a small gap by design. If anyone's in the alcove, a flash out, but Nafly hasn't been able to capitalize. Elish again, now turning his attention towards arches. There is a second player there, had no idea. And because of Twist's position, he had to focus on short side. Otherwise, they could have both been swarmed. Now Twist gonna stand up tall. Yugi is low, but doesn't matter. His aim is true. Stewie 2K, 25 seconds to go. The bomb will get planted. Flash, and of course, Stewie, known for his smoke pushing, is gonna decide against it this time. His reputation maybe preceding him for the time being. Gonna wait for it to clear. Giving Kirby a chance to get into pit. Yugi again, as we mentioned before, is low, but Kirby saves him. Yugi survives with 1 HP. Fortunate, but North will have a 5th round. 10-5 reads the halftime scoreline.
Yeah, that was a great little run there from North. A great split on the A-bomb side. Added a new layer to their attack, and it caught Liquid off guard for them to find a 5th round. So, not a bad job, but certainly Liquid still far out in front. We'll see if Liquid can finish it off quickly, or if North still have a shot at this. Stay tuned. We'll be back after the break.
Our first map reaches its second half. Liquid now on the T side, North occupying the CT side. It's been a very entertaining game, though, Dust, honestly.
Yeah.
And Elish has been popping off. 25 kills in 1 half is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's not messing around, bro. He is not at all. Obviously, it was a rough day at the office for Liquid yesterday with that loss to Optic. No one really came out strong on that one, but now we're starting to see the Liquid we're used to. And now they're on their T side, and this is obviously their bread and butter. They are really, really good at their T sides. On this pistol, they have a good amount of utility on 2 of their players. 4 flashes, 2 smokes, a couple of decoys. Definitely enough to run a nice little set piece. 3 players, though, on B for North. So this is about the best defense they could hope to have in position if indeed Liquid go through with this B hit, which it seems they are.
It will be a 5v3, but these crossfires can be difficult for Liquid to deal with all at once. They do have smokes in play, and Gade's been gooshed. He's down to 12. That's definitely going to give him pause for thought about re-peaking anytime soon. That crossfire, not quite as powerful as it was before, but AZ still precise with the USP. Valda is holding position. Going to try and bait out AZ as much as he can. Another kill goes the way of North. It's time to sweep out of control, and Gade from behind. The man that was tagged first comes round and returns the favor with 2 headshots. North do claim the second pistol.
That's just a sick pistol setup. I mean, Valda and Ace are the normal B bomb site players to North, so they put those 2 in the back of the site. They had Gade. Gade does get gooshed at CT connector, which, if anything, kind of further leads Liquid to believe, yeah, there's 1 towards CT spawn, maybe 1 inside the site or 1 coffins. Let's go for it. Little do they know that there's actually 2 in the back of the site, and you still have to worry about Gade. That's a nice little workaround there for North. That's going to get them to 10-6. It's going to force Liquid into a full save. Gives North a chance to really close the gap on the scoreboard before the first rifle round comes into fruition.
So with Liquid, electing anything as you highlighted, AZ should be given a fairly comfortable injection of cash to his bank balance as a result of the MP9 kill. No re-engage or aggression has been shown from Liquid, who are just trying to waste as many grenades as possible right now. They play slow. They know that smokes and flashes will be used.
Yep. Not a whole lot, I think, going to happen in this round, though, Vince. I mean, in the end, North should really be cleaning this up. They have several SMGs around as well, so they should be printing some extra money with those, depending on who finds the duel first. Puts them in a tough spot, though, because if they retain all of these SMGs, and Liquid's obviously going to go for a full rifle buy next round. Maybe North were thinking that Liquid would go for some type of force or something like that, but... So it could come back to haunt them in the next round. Whew, that'll haunt you. That's nightmare fuel.
Only weapon they had that could really realistically crack open a sight, and Twist has put it down range. It's Yugi that has his head splattered.
Definitely a great chance for a bomb plant now, Vince, but there are still two CTs in great positions with good firepower that could really put a stop to it.
Time is a concern, though, for the NA team. 14 seconds. The FAMAS that was picked up has been put back down again. Valda, as ever, lurking in the shadows, will pop up and strike twice. Liquid do get a kill, but no bomb plant.
Yeah. So Gate getting there kind of just in time to really put a stop to any threat of a bomb plant. Liquid, though, going to be on the full buy-up. Great team at getting control of the map. Definitely watch out for Stewie and Elise. Should be controlling that B-side. Twist, a great apartments player. Really good at finding the timings out the balcony. Also, unlike North, when Liquid get top mid control, they had so many different variations to hit the A bomb site, and they are very assertive. I felt like North was a bit hesitant once they got top mid a couple of times. Liquid's not going to have that same error. So, a lot that North needs to be worried about here, especially on a round where you have 4 SMGs against a bunch of SIGs and AKs. Gonna make it a little bit tougher, but they have Stewie trapped at logs, and actually they get as much damage as I thought, but they still get the kill with the SMG.
Yeah, unfortunately for North, that nade just bounced off the wrong side of the wall, so it went further down Banana than behind the logs, otherwise she would have been cracked off it. He still goes down all the same. Smoke down into the bottom of Banana. He's going to afford Banana control, but AZ decides better of it, picks up the SG, and backs away. And this is what you're talking about with Liquid. Top mid control is now going their way.
And they don't have a much utility, though, to go for their normal executes on the A side. So the thing is 3 smokes, but it's still enough to roll out one, whether that be this block off pit and go that direction or try to go up arch. Thing is, though, North are playing forward on middle. Valda baiting for Yugi in the corner, but he doesn't even need the help just yet. He's just going to find the frag on his own.
Now the push in. They were trying to bait for, I think it was Valda. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't. It was the player that went down in Alcove, Yugi. Now Flight, not going to have much better luck, and North, credit to them, they've weathered the early storm with the rifle round. They've passed it with flying colors, only 1 death.
That's one way to put a stop to Liquid, is kind of disrupt them before they can even get set up for the execute. Great little bait and switch set up there, and even though Yugi, who was actually the one set up to get some free kills, didn't work out, Valda was still able to find a couple of big ones, and the defense still worked all the same. So it's now 10-8. No rounds so far here for Liquid on the T side, but they've only had 1 true rifle round. Just some deagles here. We know how dangerous Liquid are with deagles, man. They have some nasty deagles on this team. Twist in particular. One of the best in the world at it.
Yeah, we did see in round 17 that it was his deagle that put down Yugi. Insta headshot round the corner. So we know
I think
it has
it's like
it
Liquid and Mouse Sports are the 2 most dangerous teams with Deagles. Dupree, obviously,
there, yeah.
Amazing Deagler as well, though, over on Astralis.
But again, Liquid, the kind of team that, even in these kind of buys, are going to make you question every play that you're going for, make you have full concentration. A leash around the corner is a good flashbang, and it supplements the 1D. They have been killed from the alcove before, so they have a couple players watching towards that area. But because of a well-timed flashbang, I think it was Valda who was looking through arches, couldn't really get anything to stick. He's done a lot of damage, but no kills. AZ peeking around the corner, just going to under-toss the smoke and try and stall his push, but now they're just really charging straight in. They get the kill on him and also Valda. And the Deagles are coming out clutch. Liquid with the bomb plant. If North go for this, they're going to be in trouble unless they make it stick. And 2 players, pardon me, are smoked off in Banana. Now the smoke is starting to clear, but Gate's already taken control of the site. He does have a kit. No grenades to play with. Yugi, in the meanwhile, will get the drop onto Twist as he loses about half of his health. Now with Gate's position, they know very likely these last 2 players are in Banana. Can they stop the defuse? No, North have been successful. It was a very aggressive retake, and it's worked out for them.
Really good run from Liquid. I mean, limiting the up-close B player to 1 frag, catching the guy on CT spawn, despite the fact they couldn't smoke it off. It seemed to be building up nicely, but Gade was able to get into sight so quickly. He got so much information early on that no one was new box or dark corner or anything like that, so I was able to eliminate the options to, yeah, their construction and banana. That's the only places they could be. And that allowed North to really be able to focus their aim up and find those final frags that meant the most. Now it's 10-9, Liquid back onto the full buy, however. No banana control this time, just Naf actually playing out that direction. He is normally the guy kind of floating around mid. Even their primary opera actually T-side Inferno, but not going to have it this round. But look at the speed of Liquid up arch side.
Not slowing down, not taking any prisoners. Nitro certainly won't be. Shooting Valda in the back. Shui 2K tagged out. Another player in the apps. This time Kia B has been thwarted. And this is where the previous round will start to hurt North. Losing 3 players, they have to think about their economy. Yes, they're fine for now, but if they lose all these guns, they won't be. And with Yuki tagged, they're going to have to pull the plug.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just the flip of the switch that Liquid has in their back pocket. When they decide that they just want to flex their aim and their skill ceiling, they can just speed it up like that. And you cannot anticipate an arch side push that rapidly. Normally, Liquid kind of take their time a bit, get their map control. Then you have to start worrying about those arch side wraps. Then you have to start worrying about the lane splits. And, you know, you always got to worry about Twist and how he's able to just, you know, really time out how he steps out of the balcony and blindsides you as you're dealing with the lane attack or the moto wrap. You know, usually it's a little bit more methodical than that, but that's the other capability Liquid has, is just to say, nope, we're just going to run it down your throat. And they have so many players that are capable of entry fragging that no matter who has the good spawn, you know that guy is going to be able to lead the way and have a good chance at finding the opening. And even if not, think of the names that you have that get to follow that guy up. No matter who goes in second, you feel like you're always going to trade frag. And that was just Liquid steamrolling the site. Now it's 11-9. North, though, still do have the buy thanks to those 3 weapons saved. So still a great chance to fight right back at Liquid. 4-man setup for North early on here at the A-bomb site. So looking to try to counter Liquid's mid control. Not give up the space for free.
Oh, extinguished Molotov into... Boiler's never going to be ideal. Yeah, and I suppose this is the other thing as well, the other side of Liquid, that because they can threaten the really aggressive pushes in mid, you have to expend a lot of utility, even when they aren't, because you have to respect that potential. That's a beautiful flash into peak. Nitro completely blinded, has back turned. Unleash now, gonna try and put down some presence, some pressure on Boiler, and does strike good. Solid kill onto Gade. Molotov onto Valda's gonna force him out into the open, and Twist will dispatch the rest. I think he may have just caught a glimpse, maybe not actually onto Kirby. I thought he saw his shoulder, and the call would come through for a Liege, but he's focusing more on the library side, and now the 3 Liquid players gonna spill onto the site and get the bomb planted now from Stewie 2K. Again, North in a position where can they feasibly go for this retake? They're going to try and flash out, but it may be just buying time rather than anything else, because as you can see, AZ is already piecing out.
I think if you would have been able to land the op shot right away on a player towards like side or pit, then maybe they would have considered going for the 2 versus 2, especially since they both had kits. They had a couple of smokes that could have maybe worked something out, but once that kill doesn't come through, they realize, yeah, we have to kind of draw back. Liquid are now set up in good post-plant positions. It's now a 2-on-3. I didn't find the pick. Got to just keep these guns. Economy, still a bit fragile, so you can understand the decision. But again, that's just Twist coming huge out of the apartments. I feel like Twist might be the most dangerous T-side apartments player on this map. Like, a lot of the angles as you come out of that balcony are actually very difficult to deal with, particularly people playing inside the pit. It's basically a headshot angle every single time. Yet Twist, again, just finds that timing window, catches the guy in Graveyard. Also steps out and finds the kill inside the bomb site. And again, that's the threat of Liquid, is they can find entries from almost any angle. It's Twist that time, but it could be someone different the next time around. But North able to still have the full buy going, so that's the one thing North has done well, is manage their economy. And I like that their initial look in that round, Vince. Like they're challenging middle, but that ain't it, Chief.
That really ain't it at all. However, maybe Valda can try and plaster the wounds. It's a decent nade, plenty of damage inflicted, but yeah, that slow peak from Yugi, when you know that Liquid are the kind of team that can force mid,
that's
I
like
just
straight
don't really understand
curse
it.
As well, though, because I actually liked how they challenged mid early last round. You know, they even got a kill off the back of it when they were able to fall back into a 5-on-4. Like, I like that idea. Like, it's ballsy. You're disrupting Liquid, but that one wasn't it.
Yeah, especially when there's no flashes or anything before it. It's just a dry peak, so you know that Liquid have the opportunity. Even if Yugi can get a kill there, he probably gets traded. And 1-for-1 when it's Europa, definitely not worth it. North now, 3v5. We know that as soon as the site gets taken, they may very well pull back because of their economy and try and save again. Liquid may try and stop that from being the case, so their economy is now booming. They can afford to send some weapons into certain death as long as they can take some guns away from North.
It ain't often you're going to stop Liquid from winning a 5 versus 3, though. Normally, they're going to be able to work this thing out, but you never know. North can make a huge play somewhere. It's going to have to come down to AZ and Kierby, though, or Valde and Kierby, excuse me. AZ still holding out at B. They're doubled up at the lane.
Situations like this is so very potent, and Kierby, you said it would have to be a ridiculous play. So far, he's making it just that, but he has fallen. Too many players around him. Valde now at the back of the site. There's one, but no second kill going to be following up. AZSG has been smoked off. Not far off there if the player wasn't crouched down, which is a liege, but he's shot a couple bullets, and he is going to be piecing out of there. So North will concede another one. At least they save an SG, but Liquid now getting closer and closer to the finish line on Inferno.
Absolutely the case. A good little play there from Kierby to double up. That was exactly what North needed to still have a shot in the round, being in a 3 versus 5, but then the trading efficiency broke out for Team Liquid. They got him off the board, limited Valde to 1 frag. Obviously, AZ wasn't even involved in the picture. He was having to respect the fact that B was still a threat. And so Liquid do work it out in the end. They're going to go up 13-9. North, this is where finally all the saving and kind of how they've been really cautious with their spending, it's still not going to matter. Eventually, it has caught up to them. KRB very low on funds. Same with Gade. Yugi and Valde could theoretically put something together, but AZ would probably have to drop a FAMAS or something. It'd be really rough, but I think you kind of just have to take like a midway approach. You know, maybe get some P250s, some CZs, but you kind of have to somewhat concede 14th because you really want to fight Liquid as best as you can, full firepower before they get to map point. So this is the right call. You will see a 5-7, a couple of CZs out and play. Yugi hasn't pulled the trigger on a buy just yet. Obviously, he wants an op next round, so you may not see it. The Eagle does come in the end, but no armor behind it. So here you go. It should be an easier time for Liquid Final 14, but North has just enough firepower to still be a nuisance.
Well, that's one hell of a way to kick things off. Felige gets obliterated by AZ with the SG. There's the power and the importance of saving guns such as this. Everything is doomed. And it's a clean kill as well, thus not losing any HP on North. Fair enough, AZ has just lost a little bit of chip. Does he really think about re-peaking this? Try and maybe catch the T's off guard. I feel like that could be playing into Liquid's hands, though, as mollies are being exchanged up on Banana, taking some control with a flash over. Stewie 2K goes in for first point of contact. No one's there. North have backed away.
Yeah, they do have Gate as well as that additional player over towards the B side. They're going to do a boost. Gate will probably rotate here soon, perhaps. There's no information for North. They don't have anyone peeking towards top middle. They don't even really have anyone peeking towards top B, so they're kind of flying in the dark right now. And that could be a problem because Liquid are barreling through A.
Exquisite 1D by Yugi as a flashbang descends, and they're going to be walking into a trap. There's a small gap in the smokes, and Kirby makes the most of it. Bomb on the site. Dewey 2K and that flag going to have to battle against 5 strong North players, and Kirby with 3 kills on a CZ, picking up all the rifles. North right back into this.
And it looks like Kierby's keeping up that form from the Major. He looks so hot in Berlin, and he's come out strong here on Inferno with 21 kills of his own now. That was a big play for North because if Liquid goes Arch and they wrap Moto and they pinch the A-bomb site, North is screwed. All their resources at A, and there's only 2 players at that with pistols. We're having to focus on lane and apartments, yet somehow they still handled it. And now we see AZ again with the SIG at top B, finding the opening 5-on-4 for North. Nitro also chipped down close to halfway. Naf caught as well, trying to go for the play. This is North fighting back big time.
Liquid starting to limp a little bit towards the finish line now. North on their choice of map, showing tenacity, resilience on the CT side. It looked like it could be slipping away and all may be lost. but not yet. Some more twists and turns left yet in this map, in this best of 3. Flash over to afford Yugi the chance to peek. Twist wasn't quite there in time, so he's not going to be affected by the flash, but does shoot a few bullets out, so at least they know there's some presence in top mid.
Yeah, they're giving some space to Liquid, though. It's just kind of one player watching the outside wrap from CT spawn, and 2, again, focused towards lane. They might get smoked off. Mollies are going to be huge as well.
Well, get wrecked. Yugi, that's his site, that's his house. You're not invited.
That's one of those awkward timings in casting where I've passed it to you, but it just happens in the blink of an eye, so there's just no way you can say anything. That's just rapid from Yugi. Brilliant stuff. North now at 11. Now they're really threatening Team Liquid. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. AZ is giving us some great looks at Banana at the start of these rounds. And North are starting to clean up some of these A-side executes.
You can see that Liquid are showing respect. This time they're not pushing up Banana. They're sitting back towards the T steps. Going to be taking it slower. And in turn, that allows North to throw down some incendiaries, some smokes, and take Banana control of their own. It's really cool to see how North are just switching this around and trying to put Liquid in positions that makes them that much stronger.
I think it's just they're being assertive on their CT side a lot of the time, and they varied up where it's going to be, as you were kind of alluding to. They've done the triple B pressures, they've aggressive peaked mid. Limited success with that, to be fair, but at least they're keeping Liquid guessing on what they're going to have to deal with. Now, in this round, Liquid have control of middle pretty early on. Still have Twist and Apartments, obviously. Bomb is going to be here with Nitro just outside alt mid. They don't have any Banana presence just yet. If they run late B into a triple stack at top Banana, this could be very, very dangerous unless Dewey's pot flash is really on point.
Gate. Behind the wooden panels. No one's shot through there just yet. He could be in for a bucket load of kills. A hat trick of France that shoots down the middle of them. AZ has been so on point with his aim. Molotov in. This is going to be rough for Valda. He has to get out of there. But Sri doesn't peek behind it.
Oh, man.
He throws in the Molotov, then doesn't make the most of it.
That's a missed opportunity in a big way that allows North to get away with an aggressive B setup. Now they're still in a 4 versus 3 because of that. If Subi could have got the trade back, it'd be a different story. But now North are well out in front. Time's running low. Liquid will not have to commit to 8. It's a 3-on-2. But we do see Valda in position to rotate pretty quickly.
Chewy 2K is getting bashed by Kirby on that smoke. 4 seconds to go. They've run out of time. North gonna have another round. They needed that execute to come through quicker at the end. And Kirby will survive in pit. Liquid are stumbling.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I mean, it definitely was too late on pulling the trigger to get into that A-bomb site, but also the fault of going back to B when you had no presence there. Stewie, at best, was just holding a Banana push from the very bottom, maybe even more towards T stairs. So when you do try to re-aggress on B late, you know, you're hoping maybe you're just flashing off one player spotting it, and you're actually going to get top B back, and then you can actually roll out a B execute. The problem is North, we're still holding 3 strong at B. A lot of teams will 3-stack B early just to get the nades and kind of limit T-side control of that area of the map, and then they eventually fade that third player back to A and kind of get into more of a default setup. But North held it, and they held the player at boards, and no one spammed it. No one from Liquid went for it. Then you had the missed opportunity from Stewie catching the player on Closet with the Molotov. I mean, you kind of throw that molly for the sole intention of catching that guy if he's there, and they didn't get it, so they're stuck in a 3 versus 4. So really, they just didn't operate the round well at all through and through. Now, all of a sudden, they're having to go for a deco, basically, and giving North a great chance to tie this game up.
Yeah, and some of the heavy hitters like Elish have slowed down. He got 25 kills in the first half. He's on 29. 4 kills in 10 rounds on their T side. And no one else has really picked up the slack.
Right.
Whereas players like AZ have really woken up and they're really shifting through the gears.
I'm loving North right now, man. They are really looking strong on the CT side. They have done so well at kind of disrupting Liquid and almost at times denying them that space for free that Liquid are used to being able to have to set up some type of execute. And now they're going to do a limited one. They do have a couple of smokes for your basic B hit. It's all going to come down to the trade fragging. And so far, these guys at B have been up to snuff.
Easy with the SG once again. Perched up on the coffins. Looking for headshots. He's connected one already. Spraying down on Twist. Also thinks Stewie 2K. And Stewie pushing the smoke. Gets the upper hand onto Valda. But it's another clear-cut round for North. And we're tied up at 13-13.
We got a goddamn spicy game ahead of us now, Vince. We're into the home stretch, 13-13. We've been praising Kierby for all of his great play throughout the game, and he's deserved it. But boy, AZ has been locking down that B-bomb site with the SIG, Vince. It's been a thing of beauty. Liquid have not found a way past it yet. They just have not looked at nearly as sharp as they looked throughout the first half here in the latter stages of this second. T-side is lacking. And now Yugi is styling on them with the aggressive B pick. This is unprecedented to see Liquid have this much struggles with these aggressive B peaks.
Such a sick smoke, extinguishing the Molotov instantly, keeping a gap in there so Yugi can still see down Banana. You can see that Nafly had no idea what was about to hit him.
Yeah, and that's also a great curveball. North has never really put an op down B. Like, it's always been like Gade, Val, to AZ usually with the Sig being the one taking kind of those peaks. Now it's Yugi all of a sudden with an op there. A look that Liquid always has to consider, but they haven't had to deal with yet. And again, that's just North varying things up quite nicely. Now they have the 5-on-4 early.
North have picked up the last 4 rounds, including a timed out round. Well, Liquid ran the clock down a little bit too much. Still, this round, 50 seconds to go. Starting to take some mid-control. 2 players towards the arches. Will be Nitro and Elige. Twists occupying the apps. Valda. Now watch out until that smoke clears, but there's another one in, and no one's looking towards the alcove next to Library. Valda with 2 of his own. Liquid gasping for air, but they're being submerged. They're being slowly but surely constricted out of this game. North take the lead for the first time since the very beginning of the map.
Yeah, this is getting fantastic from North here. You can see that Liquid are struggling. They're not getting that same trading efficiency that you're used to seeing from this lineup. You saw it there at Moto. Valda handling that hit perfectly fine. Tactical timeout coming in from Team Liquid. Again, man, it would be crazy to see Liquid lose here. They did lose at New York in overtime to G2, but prior to that, they were essentially 14-1 on this map. I mean, we had a big upset yesterday with Optic beating Liquid on Overpass, but that's kind of a best of one that maybe you brush aside, especially considering the tight travel window Liquid had off the back of New York. But this would be a massive victory on Inferno for North. It would get them right on their way to perhaps maybe pulling the biggest of upsets and actually taking the whole series, which would be massive because North have not really had a big finish in a tournament in a very long time. They barely made it to the major, had to do it through the play-in. You know, you look at some of the other big tournaments like EPL and such, just kind of going out early in group stages, this would be massive for North. And they have a kind of half buy here from Liquid to face. It gives them a great opportunity to find that point.
North's choice of map is looking like it may go the way of the Danes. Mirage is up next. But can Liquid turn this around in their favor? Are we potentially heading to overtime? Momentum certainly in favor of North. There's no 2 ways about it. As you highlighted, a pretty poor buy on Liquid's side. Still enough firepower and grenades to make it interesting, though. Stewie 2K
right.
Gonna go in first, but decides better of it.
Makes it harder to throw fakes and like just take map control and then do a later execute. You kind of have to just go for something right away with the limited utility you have, and it seems like Liquid's going to pick that B bomb site, and they have a good window on it. There is 2 players here in the back of the site. If they molly it just right, which they do have one on Nitro, they could cause a lot of problems with that smoke on spawn that's caused Valda to bite. He knows it's probably a low buy. He knows they're going to commit on their first use of utility. So I think North have a great read of the situation, and they're very well placed for this. It's going to be hard for Liquid to crack this open now. It's going to come down to pure aim.
Pure aim is something they have in spades. AZ being Molotov down to just 28 HP. They're both at the back of the site. Here comes Nafly. P250 in hand. AZ's going to peek in. It's going the way of Liquid for the time being. Velda's going to try through the smoke to see how many players he can try and thin out. But he's not able to stop the bomb plant. Now some assault rifles going to trade hands. North have been so very good for 4 rounds in a row, but it looks like this may be a bridge too far. Kierby up close. Stewie 2K weakened. Has been culled. Now Twist moving back onto sandwich boxes. Lands the 1D. It's down to Yugi. He's been tagged. They know exactly where he is. It's going to be very hard for him to retake now. He does have a kit. He does have a bit of time to play with, but he's being tanked up left and right. Yugi 25 HP. Oh, he's landed the shot. Is there enough time for the defuse? It's going to be so close. The time may work against him. No, he's picked it up, and North have got a beautiful retake. It did look possible, but with 0.4 seconds left, they get it done.
That was so massive from North. Liquid, I was about to be praising them. They made so much out of limited resources to get the trades and get that bomb planted. They did brilliant work to get into that bomb site. They even picked up 2 guns. Twist gets the brilliant 1D from Oranges on that first Ruins rotation. They had such a big chance, but Stewie going down early at Banana and Yugi making the big play in the end. Now it's 15-13. Liquid with the bomb plant and the half buy in the previous does set them up for a full buy here, but North, they are in prime position for the upset now. This will be a massive loss for Liquid, and look at much health is already off the board from the utility. 3 players softened up greatly. And North are pushed down Banana. No one has ever done this yet from North. Gain up close on the corner. Will Liquid expect it?
Switching it up in the dying embers of Inferno. Elige, his spidey senses may be tingling that Banana control is possible.
They are sponsored by Marvel, Vince, and they do have the Spider-Man jersey, so you're right on point, I think, with that.
He's going to be waiting. There's too many players for him. However, because he's died so early on Banana, it is the early warning system has been chimed off. Here is AZ, a man on form, a man that is not afraid of anybody. He's going to push straight in. 2 kills, nearly a third. Nearly outright won this round for his team, but he's given them a chance. He's given them a bit of hope. 40 seconds left, bomb in mid, but nobody from North on A. If they just take the bomb towards A right now, Twist has already got a forward position. He's already taking control over pits. This will be a post plant. North have enough funds to go for it, though.
I mean, it'd be tough. But yeah, I guess you kind of have to see. Valda has such low money, though, is the biggest thing. You'd probably like to drop him a weapon next round. And trying to retake with an op in M4, especially since Valda's so far away, it's tough at this point. Maybe if Yugi finds something quickly with this AWP, they consider it, but it might just be exits. Does seem that way, right? I mean, they're not really making any forward progress. Seems they're content just to hold and give Liquid 14, make sure they have everything they could hope for in the next round. Yugi trying to get some guns down. He knows money's low for Liquid. Any rebuying he can force would be fantastic. And there's Valda as well, covering the apartment's exit, and might catch the mid as well. Not quite. Nitro and Twist do get away with their 2 weapons. And there is enough money for them to fully buy out as well. So each team gets to put their best foot forward in this round. Great work from Liquid, particularly Elige. Big kills from him. He's up to 32 kills, Vince. He has had a monster performance. Still holds over 180 yards well for the game. It's exactly what you want from him.
And it really just goes to show how dominant he was in the first half, because he's definitely slowed down in the second one. 7 kills to his name. Yeah. Nearly 15 rounds. The first half was just absolutely god tier by Elige. But can they take us to overtime? Can they take us the distance?
Bit of a stalemate there at top Banana with all the utility that was expended. A little bit of damage taken by Naf. It's also one of the few times where he's actually seen Naf pick up the AWP here on the T side for Liquid. He's the normal opper on T side Inferno. Liquid kind of plays a somewhat musical chair system with the AWP, but it is pretty kind of well set. It's just map dependent. But obviously T side Inferno, the op is not required. That's where Liquid can really get the most out of 5 rifles, but they're going to put Naf on the AWP. See what he can find. It might be something different. North have not seen that yet. But this game, I would love extra rounds, Vince.
It's been a very entertaining match, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, for our voices' sake, probably not, but for my heart, I want it. Give me the rounds. All of them.
Better believe North don't know. They want to just get this finished right now.
Absolutely.
Mirage up next.
And they've played a great CT side. They deserve to go ahead and win it here, to be honest. I've loved everything I've seen from them this half. They had that big 6-round winning streak and 4-0 start to the half as well. What do we got here? Look, we're going to go for the late B hit. All 5 players gathered up here. Limited utility, but it's enough to get in. But there's 3 here for North. Again, they've had these reads.
Time is working against Liquid too. I'd love to switch over the sands of time, but it's AZ that's picked up 2 kills. It's now starting to slip away. Gade back on Newbox could be the linchpin. He could be the main man. 2 kills, gonna go his way. Looking for a 3rd and gets it done. North are gonna have a successful home pick map of Inferno. 16-14. It went so very close. Liquid had chances. but the Danes fob them off. And now we're heading to Mirage next.
Indeed, we are heading to Mirage next. What a great performance from North here on Inferno. Absolutely fantastic at the upset. Again, Liquid, the best team in the world. North kind of ranked towards the 12 or 15 position, somewhere in that range. You're going on Inferno. It was your pick, sure, but Liquid have been oh so dominant on Inferno. It's one of their top maps in their pool. They came in as the heavy favorite, and North still pull it off. A fantastic upset. Now we go to Mirage, though, Vince, and we're not going to talk about it too much because we do have a break coming up, but I mean, Liquid are massively favorites on in Mirage, and we'll talk about why, I guess, at the break. I'll kind of just tease it, and we'll explain why a little bit later. But if you're enjoying the stream, please do follow up, because we have, obviously, the rest of the best 3 to go. We have 2 more coming up later today. Vince and I will be covering all the games. If you join the cast, and you can give us a follow, Casters in chats. Also, if you want to talk about the tournament, talk about you're enjoying the broadcast or the games, or just get involved in the conversation whatsoever, make sure you're using that hashtag DHMasters on all the various social media outlets to get involved. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be bringing a map 2 between Team Liquid and North in this elimination best of 3. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a bit.